Okay, good to go.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's extraordinary Town Council meeting. The first item on the agenda is to accept apologies for absence. Madam Town Clerk, do we have any apologies?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've had apologies from Councillor Wall, and Councillor Coles might be slightly late in attending, but she will be coming. In fact, she's here now.
Okay, item number 2, declarations of interest on items on the agenda. Anybody got anything to declare? No. Item number 3, to receive written requests for dispensation for disclosable interests. Madam Town Clerk, have we had any written requests? No, in which case there are none to grant. Do we have any member of the, item number 5, do we have any member of the public who wishes to speak? Don't think we've got anybody. No. Right, on to item 6 then, which is the purpose really of this meeting, which is to review our procedures going forward, bearing in mind the government legislation which will prevent us from holding virtual meetings in their current format beyond the 7th of May. To enable us to carry on with our business, Council have already agreed that we would in principle be prepared to delegate powers to the Town Clerk, which would assist in the process, which would enable us to hold virtual meetings, but actually only hold real live meetings if there was important business to discuss face to face. We are looking to implement a virtual hybrid solution, which would enable us to meet in person, and provided we were quorate, that would be fine. And we would be filming those Town Council meetings, and members would be able to attend, but they wouldn't be able to vote. And it's important that we note that. So members would be able to participate, but not vote on matters because they wouldn't actually be in attendance of the meeting. So so Councillor Howe, can I just ask you to give us an update on where we are with the technology? I'm hoping that it's going to be ready soon, but I think we need to put something in place just in case things don't work. I think we need a trial first. So just give us an update on the virtual.
Absolutely. So the as a temporary solution, I've been exploring using the existing audio equipment that is installed in the town hall, and looking at the possibility of hooking this up to Zoom to effectively use as our sort of live stream and communication tool of choice. And those tests have all been fairly successful. I think we've got enough existing equipment to kind of correctly or adequately mic up the town hall, and then we'll just be looking at sort of a way of capturing the video from the town hall as well. And so that setup can be made available at a moment's notice for meetings, but the first planned use of it will be for mayor making.
Yeah, so I think we need to give it a good practice before we use it in anger, so to speak. So that's fine. So you have seen some of the correspondence circulating on what other councils propose to do as a possible solution, and we have tentatively agreed that proposal 1 that was put forward was the preferred option, subject to a couple of tweaks to bring in other issues that were raised by proposals 2 and 3. And there is a document, hopefully, Lisa, can you share the document so we can just see the final draft on screen? So, yeah, that's fine. So the items in yellow are those elements of text which have been added in to proposal 1 that you have already seen. And in principle, I think we did have approval that those changes would be acceptable. But Lisa, could you just scroll down slowly so people can see what we are doing? So it's a town clerk or other appropriate officer, although obviously in the first instance we would always refer to the town clerk, and that's a contingency just in case Madam Town Clerk is not available. And item 5, in emergency, the town clerk is empowered to carry out any function of the council. That is for emergency situations only, not the current run-of-the-mill COVID issues. Yeah, keep scrolling down. The town clerk has the power to call a meeting should the issue under discussion potentially have a fundamental adverse effect on the reputation, smoothing the reputation of the town council, and that will be discussed with the mayor or deputy mayor accordingly before, and if necessary, a special meeting would be called. And extension of the 6 months rule, this is all because certain members of the council might not be able to attend a meeting, and normally a councillor not attending a meeting for 6 months would need to come off the council. So this is just a contingency to say if they can't attend for certain specific reasons that we've documented there, primarily because of COVID or not being able to log in because of technical issues, that wouldn't alter their position under that 6 month rule. Anything else, Lisa, there? And the proposal is temporary, but so it will cease as and when we are in a position to do away. I mean, it's very much dependent on when the COVID situation eases and we're able to revert back to full town council meetings. Right, thank you. Right, any questions arising from that run through, please? Councillor Rolfe.
Yeah, could you just explain about members having difficulty with their Wi-Fi? I mean, I'm just looking at, I mean, it would be very unfortunate, but on full council meetings, for instance, if it happened twice, then it could go into the 6 months. What would happen then? I mean, it would just be very unfortunate for equipment to fail, but.
May I answer that, Mr.
Yeah, sure,
Chair?
please, yes, please.
I think that's why we've actually put it in the on page 3. Council shall also approve as a legitimate reason the failure by any member to attend meetings due to remote equipment failure or an unstable internet connection. So it's there. You've approved it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Councillor Alcock.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Could we clarify the position on when we would review the situation to return to face-to-face meetings? Currently, it says if COVID, when COVID allows, but according to the government right now, we're supposed to be doing it, though none of us feel comfortable with that. So could we possibly look at reviewing the situation, say in a 3 month period, to see the situation as it is then?
My view is we could say we'll review in 3 months, but actually I think the position could change sooner, quicker or later. So I think it's one of those things that we will definitely keep under review, and I think it is probably for the mayor-elect when he's in position to actually take soundings of where we are with the government and to bring that forward to council if the situation significantly changes. Madam Town Clerk.
From the SLC forum, most councils are holding out until the 21st of June when the changes for meeting inside. Except no one's actually saying it's going to be the 21st of June, but that's the figure that that's the date that's flying around.
Yeah.
I do agree with Mr. Mayor that we just don't. Once again, we just don't know. But
Yeah.
it would not. My recommendation would be that it's not before the 21st of June.
Right. I think in a way the big challenge is if there were significant number of councillors who still felt uncomfortable about returning to real meetings, and I suspect if there was going to be a full town council in the town hall tomorrow, I think we would probably anticipate a number of councillors sending their apologies. So I think it's just a moving feast and we keep it under review. Madam Town Clerk. Sorry, you're on mute.
Apologies.
Yeah.
This is an extract from the government, from a government briefing note. Meetings where local authorities deem that in-person attendance is not required should continue to be held virtually. For example, this would include non-statutory or other informal meetings. Only absolutely necessary participants should physically attend meetings and should maintain social distancing. So my reading of that is, as long as you're quorate, it's fine. You don't need 18 members to be in attendance. And I'm thinking here of mayor making, for example.
Yeah.
Going on, avoiding transmission during meetings, for example, avoiding sharing pens, documents and other objects, providing hand sanitizer, and it goes on. But actually that great big long list of things that I sent to you about attending physical meetings all come into play then, because we've got to do the risk assessment so that we can come back safely. Yeah,
and just to remind councillors that we did agree that we would all have a lateral flow test before we would attend a meeting. Yeah, Councillor Cleave.
You've just said exactly what I was going to remind.
I saw your hand go up,
yeah,
and I thought I'm going to preempt what I think she's going to say.
Yeah, no, and I think that's important, and we'll put a lot of our colleagues, staff, and other councillors' minds to rest. So I think it's still important that we do that. Thank you.
Yeah, Councillor Rolfe.
Yes, will you accept a lateral flow test done at home? We don't necessarily have to go to the other place to have it done.
I think we trust the integrity of councillors to take their own reading and be true in what their result was. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Is that a new hand, Councillor Cleave?
Yeah, I was just going to say to Councillor Rolfe, you can register them still through the NHS as well. Yeah. You do that, yeah.
Yeah. Councillor Jenny Fradgley.
Thank you. I can't find my blue hand very quickly. I went to the lateral to the testing station behind the theatre and asked if I could have a box of lateral tests to take home with me, and they said yes, of course you can, but you must test here first so that we check that you know how to do it properly, which I did, and they let me take a box of 8 tests home. So that's the way that that I got my box, and I'm trying to persuade Ian to do the same as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Councillor Dyer.
Unusually for a government department, they're highly efficient. Whenever I ask for a test kit, I get it in the next day's post, always. So I recommend, if you're not sure how to get hold of one, apply for one on the internet. It invariably comes a day after, and it's dead easy to do. You don't need them to tell you how to do it. The instructions are self-explanatory.
Yeah, thank you. Councillor Rolfe.
Yeah, just to say that Rosebud Pharmacy have plenty of test kits to give away. Plenty and plenty and plenty.
Yeah. Madam Town Clerk.
Could I just go back to the document that that I've submitted? Apologies, there are 2 8s. Thanks, Phil, for pointing that out to me. The second 8, I shall amend the numbers obviously, but the second 8, I just wanted to talk to you about that one. I mean, it's completely self-explanatory, but I'm just wondering when, because we have only one member that is not a Liberal Democrat, I'm wondering if that one member should be one of those 2 other members.
I've got no problem with that in the interest of transparency. Would that be okay with you, Councillor Foytek?
Yeah, that would be absolutely fine. Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah. Right. Has anybody got any other comments on the proposal? In which case, can I ask for a proposer and seconder, and we'll put it to a vote to accept. Councillor Alcock, thank you. Can I have
I'm
a
happy to
seconder?
propose.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
happy
you.
to propose, Mr. Mayor, that this is accepted by council for the oncoming meetings.
Thank you. Councillor Cleave?
Yeah, I would like to second that.
In which case, should we have a show of real hands to show our acceptance of this proposal?
Thank you. That's unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you all. In which case, we will move on to item 7, which is the date and venue of the next town council meeting. And the next meeting is the mayor making at the town hall on Friday, the 21st of May. And I presume some detail of that is still outstanding and will be circulated in due course.
Yes, it will.
Yep. Thank you. And I hereby thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Councillor Curtis, emergency hand. Unmute, please.
I'm sorry, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to propose a vote of thanks to the town clerk for dealing with this so quickly and so efficiently. She must have waded through a mountain of information to be able to present this to us. So I would like to propose a vote of thanks to the clerk.
Thank you.
Please. Can you note that in the minutes, please, Madam Town Clerk?
Yes.
You'll then have to declare it next time, Sarah.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, and I'll see those involved at planning.